Raul Rosas Jr.'s explosive entry into the MMA scene to Michael Morales' stunning debut in the welterweight division, these are the new faces of the UFC to watch. UFC has produced some of the most iconic fighters in MMA over the years, but with many of the OGs taking a step back, the time has come for the next stars of UFC to make their mark. And nobody is lighting up the scene better than Raul Rosas Jr. This Mexican-American fighter is not just your ordinary athlete. He's also a social media influencer with a ton of charisma. Born on October 8, 2004 in Clovis, United States, this young prodigy is taking the fight game by storm, which makes sense considering he's been grinding since a very young age. With his freestyle moves and a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, this kid means business. The fact that he's working out at 10th Planet Las Vegas shows how serious he is about constantly evolving and perfecting his craft, and his impressive record only confirms that. Rosas Jr. has an insane professional MMA record of 7 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses, with 4 wins by submission, 1 by knockout, and 1 by decision. But that's not all, because during his amateur fights, it was his 5 out 6 wins that got him his followers. Simply put, this guy knows how to get the job done inside the cage. But what really put Rosas Jr. on the map was when he made history as the youngest UFC fighter ever. Yup, you heard it right. At just 18 years old, he stepped into the octagon at UFC 282 and made a huge statement. That too, by absolutely destroying his opponent Jay Perrin with a first-round submission that shocked even the judges. And the best part? Raul is just getting started. He's got big dreams of becoming the youngest UFC champion in history. Considering his skills though, who wouldn't bet on him? But with Raul making noise in the bantamweight division, Ismael Bonfim is the star shaking up the UFC's lightweight division. Born on December 28, 1995, in the fighting capital of Brasilia, Brazil, Bonfim found his passion for pro fighting at the age of 14 years old. Since then, he's gone on to dominate multiple local tournaments, and anybody that's been following his matches for a while will tell you that his fists are like lightning bolts, always ready to strike. But it's his impressive grappling that has his opponents stressed. With his training in jiu-jitsu and wrestling, Ismael's developed into a well-rounded fighting machine, and his UFC debut was nothing short of jaw-dropping. His insane double-flying knee knockout on his opponent, Terrence McKinney, had everyone obsessed for weeks. So it only makes sense he walked away with the performance of the night bonus. This guy knows how to make a statement and leave a lasting impression. And trust me when I tell you this, you don't want to miss his next fight. With a record of 19 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses, including 9 knockouts, 4 submissions, and 6 decision wins. He's got the skill, charisma, and all the potential to become a future superstar. That's exactly why MMA analysts and fighters are placing their bets on him. But what sets Bonfim apart from the rest? Well, for one, it's his explosive striking and his flashy moves. The Brazilian fighter's aggressive style keeps fans on the edge of their seats. And when this guy steps into the cage, you know he'll be putting on the show. But he isn't the only rising star in the lightweight division. Many industry insiders predict that Chinese sensation Makhachev is going to be one to take the crown in the future. And they aren't wrong. Because with his record so far, it's safe to say that the youngster is on the fast track to becoming the next big thing. Born on December 1st, 1999, Makhachev started his journey as a boxer, but he didn't just stop there. From there, he switched to jiu-jitsu and wrestling. And to this day, you can see how much of an influence these styles have on him. Because when it comes to Makhachev's fighting style, it's all about striking, power, speed, and technique. Imagine a storm of punches, lightning-fast kicks, and pinpoint precision. That's the type of destruction he brings to the ring. And with 4 knockout wins under his belt, he's already killing it in the name. His opponents can only pray they don't meet him on a bad day, because it's very common to see the Chinese fighter send people crashing to the canvas with punches. And don't even get me started on his spinning back fists, flying knees, and Superman punches. He knows how to put on a show, especially with his 9 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses record. And as one of the few Chinese fighters in the promotion, he's part of a new generation of Asian talent. Entering the scene right beside him, though, is a Japanese star, Tatsuro Taira. If you thought Makhachev's stats were impressive, then you're in for a treat. Because Tatsuro is making waves in the UFC's flyweight division, and he's got everyone buzzing with excitement. Born on January 27, 2000, Taira's quickly climbing up the leaderboard. And considering he's a jiu-jitsu black belt under the legendary Yuki Nakai, is anyone surprised? He's perfected a grappling-focused fighting style that uses striking, wrestling, and submissions. Long story short, he's got the whole package. One of the biggest things that fighting fans have noticed about him is his ability to find submissions. And with 7 wins by tap-out, including wicked triangle chokes, rear naked chokes, arm bars, and guillotines, the Japanese fighter knows how to find weaknesses. With an impressive record of 13 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, Taira is already making his mark in the UFC. He first burst onto the scene in May 20th, 22, winning a decision against Carlos Candelario. And he followed it up with back-to-back submission victories over CJ Vergara and Jesus Aguilar. 2023 is going to be his year, but here's the kicker. Taira is ranked number 5 in the division, and he's set to face off against Clydeson Rodriguez in June 20th, 23. So I'd suggest keeping your eyes peeled for him. 2023 is a big year for men's MMA, but the women aren't far behind either. And leading the charge for the ladies is Mexican fighter Yasmin Jauregui, who's been taking the UFC's strawweight division by storm. Born on February 28, 1999, the youngster's been fighting since she was 12 years old, and her style is all about striking. She's got the power, speed, and technique to win it all. Yasmin knows how to throw down, and with 7 knockout wins under her belt, she's not one to mess with. She'll send her opponents crashing to the canvas with moves that would make anyone's jaw drop. With a perfect record of 10 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, she's been lighting the scene on fire since her debut in August 2021. First, she went the distance and claimed a victory in her first fight against Yasmin Lucindo. Then she turned up the heat and knocked out Estela Nunes in her second outing. The 24-year-old fighter is showing no signs of slowing down, but besides her impressive skills in the octagon, she's got a legion of fans on social media who can't get enough of her. Though I suppose earning 2 performances of the night bonus in her first 2 UFC fights helps with the Insta followers. But while I'm on the topic of new faces in the sport creating buzz, I have to mention Michael Morales' stunning debut in the welterweight division. Born on June 24, 2000, in the city of Machala, Ecuador, Morales has always been a fan of MMA. And man, does he know how to pack a punch. This guy is a knockout artist extraordinaire. When he steps into the octagon, you better believe it's going to be fireworks. His explosive striking and flashy moves will have you feeling sorry for his opponents. And with his undefeated record with 11 knockouts, with 7 of them being in the first round alone, he's annihilating competition in the welterweight division. At just 14 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, Michael's already making a name for himself in the UFC as the next star. He made a stunning debut in January 20th, 22, knocking out Trevin Giles and then following it up with another knockout win over Adam Fugit, who he dropped to the floor with a glorious right-hand hit. And guess what? He's earned 2 performance of the night bonuses in his first 2 UFC fights. Talk about starting off strong. But here's the best part. Morales is only getting started. He's still one of the youngest fighters in the welterweight division, and in it for the long run. Considering the way he's been performing, it looks like he's got all the ingredients to become a future superstar. So you can get ready for electrifying knockouts, explosive fights, and a lot of excitement from the youngsters' side over the next few years. So there you have it. From Michael Morales' stunning debut in the welterweight division to Raul Rosas Jr.'s explosive entry into the MMA scene. Those were the new faces of the UFC to watch.